Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's ELLIOTTWAVE Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. We have had a great week on our end. Most of the setups that we forecasted have played out, and we had some great trades as well. You have to look at the video from the last week. You will see that almost 90 to 95% of what we forecasted has played out inch perfect. You will see as we go through the market analysis for this week. So what we will be doing is to see what the forecast was, how the market played out, and what we're forecasting in the next week. Right, so let's start with our chart of the week. If you had come to our website, you would have seen that we've got a chart of the week, which was Pound New Zealand. So Pound New Zealand, this was a setup which was posted on the 5th of July. 5th of July was a Monday. That was the day after our analysis. So let's have a look at this chart of the week. If you'd come to the website, you would have got this trade setup. So let's have a look here. So what we forecasted on Pound New Zealand was that it was going to come to the blue box and it was going to push to the upside. Okay, so that has already played out. So you will see as we do the trade setups that we did not only forecast as it was coming down here, we forecasted this when we were here. We expected this three-wave structure, which has now played out as follows. So this is how Pound New Zealand has played out in the last week, and this is how we're expecting to see it continue in the next coming week. We'll go through a bit more detail when we start with the analysis on this one. So we forecasted that we're going to come down here, we're going to come up here, we're going to come down here, and we're going to push to the upside. Do not know what news event pushed this to the upside. What we know for sure is that the structure and the indicator that we use showed us these moves. So this is what makes us different, or what sets us apart from the rest of the ELLIOTTWAVE traders. You will find that there's this talk that if you can put 10 ELLIOTTWAVERS on one chart, they'll come up with 10 different analyses. In our case, you can put 10 different ELLIOTTWAVE traders, and I can guarantee you that almost 8 to 9 will come up with exactly the same analysis. That is because of the special indicator that we use. Remember, Elliott also recommends that you have an alternative when you do your analysis, but this is where the challenge comes in. When you've got more than one option, how do you get it right when you've got more than one option? And the indicator will disqualify the alternative that will not play out and will tell you exactly which one is going to play out. And when you look at our charts, you will see that we do not just forecast the next move, we forecast a couple of moves in advance, not just in the smaller time frames, but in the bigger time frames as well. So you can find that our charts are forecasting moves for the next 5-10 years. And then we go into the analysis, we go into the trade setups in the lower time frames. That is the power of that indicator. You cannot trade wave theory without that indicator. You need to disqualify some. All right, so let's get started. Before we start, if you'd like to contact us, come to our YouTube channel. You'll find under the description of all the videos, you'll find the link to our website. We have got our current course running now. We've just completed the first week. The next week's, we're going to be concluding the course in the next week. So that is where you'll find the links. You'll also find the links to our social media pages. That is the Twitter profile page as well as our Facebook page. All right, so we post a lot of these charts that you will see as I go through the market recap now, or the trade recaps for the last week. You'll see a lot of those trade setups in our social media pages, so do follow us there. If you'd like to contact us, you can use the WhatsApp number there, but we prefer that you contact us via this global chat. Okay, here you'll get the quickest response if you've got any inquiry. Our 30% special ended yesterday. I think it's still on the website. By the time we're done with the webinar, it should be off, so the discount has ended. So just for interest sake, guys, so what we've introduced, so we're introducing this for members. We understand that there are some members that may not be doing so well. So we've introduced a chat room that is called results. So members post up their results here. This has just been introduced now. It will be under play from the next week. So members will upload their results, win or lose, doesn't matter, so that those that are doing well can advise those that are not doing so well. So we want to learn from those that are doing well, and then we want to assist those that are not doing so well. So that is the idea with this chat room. So we want to assist members. We understand that even if you've attended the course, you're not going to be a pro wave trader in just a matter of 2 weeks. All right, so if you like what we do, guys, please hit that subscribe button and also drop us a like and comment. We value your input as well. So that is how we will work. So let's get started and look at how the market played out in the last week. Let's go to our charts that we focused at before and what we're focusing in the next coming sessions. Let's have a look here. All right, so let's do the trade recaps. Let's see how the market played out in the week. Some of these we will look at during market analysis when we start with the market analysis. Let's have a look at some of the charts. So if you look at Euro US dollar, we have been looking at this to make a flat correction here and push to the upside. How did this play out in the week? We wanted it into the blue box. It was right in the blue box. We expected to push a little bit lower into the blue box and push to the upside. Right there, that was the execution of a trade on EURAUD. Look at what has happened. Already a couple of pips to the upside, made an impulsive move to the upside right in the blue box. This is what members got on the 4th of July. This is how it played out eventually. Euro New Zealand related to pound New Zealand, which was our chart of the week. Also, we wanted it to reverse from right here at looking for the next move to the upside. How does Euro New Zealand play out? So we got that move to the upside, as you can see, together with pound New Zealand. We made a move to the upside. We will look at how the market will play out in the next coming week. EURCAD. So EURCAD, we're looking at this one to be a three-wave structure, that white degree that you see there. We're looking at that another one here. We're looking for this one to push to the upside, but eventually this is what we're looking for this move to the upside. Let's have a look here in the lower degree. You will see that we've got a W, and this whole thing here is actually an X. Let me just clear this one up here so I can draw it clear. So this is a W, this is a, my mouse is misbehaving, a W, and the whole thing here is a corrective structure, and we're looking for this purple to push to the upside. Just to give you a bit more detail on this one, these are three waves to the downside, three waves to the upside, three waves to the downside. So every time you see me drawing these lines, I'm drawing waves. Okay, we do not just put in the numbers or the labels on the chart. So what we're looking at here is structure. Structure is more important than the labeling. Okay, so this is our EURCAD. Look at how EURCAD played out, inch perfect, nice trade setup, went all the way to the upside. We're currently reversing, but we'll do the update shortly on EURCAD. Pound CAD, we expected a bit of a pullback. This had already pushed to the upside. If you remember last week, we wanted pound CAD to come and retest this low here, but when it made the three waves reversal here, we invalidated that count, and then we looked for this one to pull back and give us a bit of more upside. So look at there, how this one has played out. Look at that pound CAD, inch perfect, has now made that pullback that we wanted. That was the pullback in three waves, and now has pushed to the upside. Right, so that is pound CAD. Pound AUD. So pound AUD, simply because pound New Zealand was pushing down, we did say this last week, that this will push to the downside as well and continue to the upside, but we only got the trade set up around here. That is pound AUD, because we were already trading pound New Zealand at the time. We know that these are correlated. Okay, so that is how this one has played out. Let's have a look. A move to the upside already. We broke out to the upside, and then that is what we got on pound AUD. All right, Euro US dollar, you'll see all the US dollar pairs have played out inch perfect. We wanted this to continue here to finish the wave 5. This is the wave 5 here in the purple degree, and then push to the upside. We already got that move to the downside and to the upside as well. If you look at that, so that is already come down here and push to the upside. You'll see this as we do analysis as well. Doing very well. Pound New Zealand, this is what I wanted to show you. This was our chart of the week. So chart of the week, it was updated when we were here, but last week we showed you that this is coming from here. We got the move to the upside, we got a move to the downside, we got a move to the upside. All of this move, inch perfect, focused on our chart of the week. All right, so that is how we have focused pound New Zealand. This is how it has played out. All the waves in play, upside, downside, and upside. We're still expecting more upside. Check out our next chart of the week on the website. As soon as it is updated, we will send out a notification. Pound CAD, we already talked about pound CAD. It's already played out. Pound AUD, we've already gone through that. That's pound AUD again. Euro AUD, we've already gone through that again. This is now a repeat. We've already got through Euro New Zealand. EuroCAD, we've gone through that. Right, now the US dollar pairs, you will see how accurate this has been in the week. So this is New Zealand US dollar. We forecasted that it was going to push to the upside and then come down. Last week I showed you why New Zealand US dollars move to the downside is incomplete. That's why we expected this to be only a three-wave move and then continuation to the downside. So that is New Zealand US dollar. We've made a move to the upside. This is a three-wave structure here in WXY, and then has pushed to the downside as forecasted. We're still expecting that we will have a bit more downside. We'll look at that when we start with the analysis. All the pound pairs, go through last week's video and check exactly how we forecasted the pound pairs. Not only did we forecast from here, last week on Sunday, we were here. This was already on the Tuesday, but on Monday, on Sunday, we focused that this was going to push at least back to this level. We have already done that, and pound yen has pushed lower and into the blue box, and we are now reversing. Okay, we'll show you the next move, what we expect of the next move on the yen pairs. Similarly, chief yen last week showed you that from here, even though this looks like it's correcting to the upside, because we're expecting all the yen pairs to drop, we expected this to drop. So it is not just about the structure. The indicator at this point here was telling us that we're going to drop and all the yen pairs were going to drop. That's why you saw all the yen pairs dropping, and this is how they dropped right into the blue box. We expected a move to the upside. Okay, so that is how powerful that indicator is. So this is chief CAD yen. Also CAD, we expected CAD to drop simply because all the yen pairs were dropping and the indicator as well as the structure was telling us it was going to drop. Look at that. Now, not only this, we also expected that once we are here, we'd expect this to drop further into the blue box and push to the upside. And that is how CAD yen has played out. Look at that. So not just one move, look at that, it is three forecasts. One, we forecasted that it was going to come down. It does get into the blue box. We said that it's going to continue to the downside. It does, and push to the upside. So you cannot focus that without that indicator. Brent crude oil, I'm only showing you the pullback here. We've got the nice three-wave pullback here. This was the focus from wave 4. We expected it to continue to the upside. But remember, Brent crude, we've got a trade set up from here when it made this three-wave structure. This was our blue box. We entered Brent crude here. And yesterday, or not yesterday, rather on last week Sunday, we focused that Brent crude can even go as high as 82 because before a deeper corrective structure. So that is Brent crude, and this is how it is played out. We're already up here at about 61% of the correction. Right. DAX last week, we focused that we're going to have a drop here and a move to the upside. What did we get in the week? Exactly as forecasted, move to the downside, and we are now upside. Now there is a trade set up here on the DAX. We will be looking to buy the DAX in the coming session for more upside. So check out the DAX for the next week. Pound chief. Okay, so you have to look at pound chief. How many times have we talked about pound chief? This is an amazing trade. Okay, so if you do not believe in Elliott wave theory and how accurate it is, you just have to look at this setup. So for the longest time, we've been looking at this from here to go and retest this level here into the blue box and drop. Okay, so that is what we expected of pound chief. Last week, we showed you how this was already playing out. We've already gone up to the blue box here and we're already reversing. Now in the week, we got a trade from here. This was last week already. We got a trade from here, expecting this to drop. Now, if you look at this, we've made a move to the downside here. We made a bit of a pullback here, and we dropped spectacularly to our target here. Now, if you look at this one, this is how it eventually played out. All of this, if you go through the video last week, go and check, you'll see that this is exactly what we forecasted, and this was our trade setup, looking for this to just hit the target at this level. Now, if you go look at pound chief now, it has reversed exactly here. We are out, a very clean trade. That is how good the week was. Now, those are the trade recaps. Those are some of the setups that we traded in the week. Now, let's go through, highlight some of, I'm not going to go through everything today. I'm just going to highlight some of the interesting ones that we're seeing for the next coming week. Let us start with the Euro US dollar. And I'm going to go straight to the charts that were shared with our members. Let's go through to US dollar pairs. Right, so on the 4-hour Euro US dollar, what did we forecast? If you look at Euro US dollars, I want you to get the perspective and why we are expecting now a move to the upside. On the 4-hour, on the 4th of July, this was the 1st of July, okay, the first week of July, we're expecting a pullback here on the euro, okay? So we're looking for a pullback on the euro. David Matthews says, awesome, Mr. Vic. So David is in our group. So well done, David. I'm glad you have made money. So this is what we're looking at here on Euro US dollar. We're looking for this to pull back. This is the 4-hour, remember? So there is no much detail here. I just want to give you a perspective. There's no much detail. What we are saying is we have got 5 waves down here, but we're going to get a pullback at some point. And the pullback that we're getting will be updated. This is what we do. We update all these 1-hour charts every single day just before the start of the London session, as well as the New York session. Now, this is what we're looking for. A continuation to the downside we already have. Now, this is where we are with Euro US dollar. We're expecting a 3-wave pullback. We've already started the move. As we're speaking now, we are already around this. We are already around this level. Let's just have a look here on Euro US dollar and see where we are. Okay, so this is where we are on the 4-hour. Let's make it bigger. Let's make a bigger screen here so you can see clearly. So if you look at this here, we've already dropped here. We've come down here to complete the wave 5. Where does the wave 5 come from? It comes from this. This is wave 5. These are 5 waves in wave 5. So we looked at this one as a 4 and a 5. Now we're expecting this has made a 3-wave move. So expect this to continue slightly higher. Expect a pullback and a move to the upside. Okay, so that is what we're expecting on Euro US dollar. We will expect the same thing on the DXY. Let's go to the DXY. I have to jump over. So the DXY, we're expecting the same thing. Can you see what happened with the DXY? If you go to the DXY, you'll see that we've got the move already to the downside. We are already around here on the DXY, and the 1-hour on the DXY is already showing us that. Okay, so this has already come around here. We've already made these 3 waves here around this level. We're still expecting continuation to the downside. That is the DXY. If you look at the DXY here on the chart, this is what we have. Okay, so look at it on the 4-hour. It's already made a move as expected. We're coming down. Even on the 1-hour, we're already coming down. We will expect this to continue slightly lower before any pullback. It's slightly lower before any pullback. You saw why we are looking at it like that. US dollar CHF. Okay, so US dollar CHF was very interesting. We took this one together with pound CHF. As you can see, US dollar CHF as well as pound CHF are correlated because of the CHF in them. So when pound CHF was dropping, we were taking this one live. This one was set up live during our live trading room. We executed right there for a move to the downside. So just give you a sneak into the video, into our live trading room video. Let me see if I have it here. So this is what we looked at during our live trading room. Will I find it? So here it was. No, this was not the one. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, I don't have it open. Anyway, next time. We'll show you next time. So I wanted to show you how we executed this one live during the trading room. But in any case, you can always see this one next time. So this is where we executed together with a pound CHF, because they are definitely correlated. So we were spoiled for choice. You could just pick up one, and either way you would have made money. We are still expecting continuation to the downside. Now, this is foolish money if you come and sell it here, because you'll see that this looks like it is making 5 waves, and we're going to get a deeper pullback at some point. So if you come sell here, this is going to get you off, catch you off guard. So wait for a new decent setup. Right, let's go through the rest of the setups on the US dollar pairs. Right, Audi US dollar. Now you have to look at this. This was inch perfect. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. We expected. How did the market play out? Go and look at Audi US dollar. You will see that all of those setups, all of those forecasts have played out. Let's go to the 4-hour, because that's where the forecast was. Let's have a look at this on the 4-hour. Let's take this one off. Where was the forecast? The forecast was here. We were here. This was before this played out. We were looking for this. Even last week, if you remember, we said we want to get to the blue box. I'll show you why we wanted to get to the blue box again. I showed that last week as well. So we were here. I said, we're going to come and retest the top here. We're going to come and drop, and we're going to go and push to the upside. 1, 2, 3. All of those setups have already played out. How do you get that right without the indicator? You can get the structure right. You can get the analysis right sometimes, but the execution is where the challenge comes in. So this is why we said we want to get that to the downside still. Okay, so that is a three-wave structure to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I've shown this last week as well, and we're looking for this one to be another 3 waves rather, to the downside as follows. We are now here. Are we going to get a push to the upside? Let's see how far we're going to get with this. So we want to see a reversal from around that area. I showed you divergence. I can't remember if I did show you or if we saw this one in the trading rooms. If we look at the RSI here, it was very clear that we're going to get a move to the upside. The RSI was showing us divergence to the upside. So that is how we got that one on AUD US dollar. You'll see New Zealand as well. We also spoke about New Zealand. Look at that 4-hour structure on New Zealand. We said it's going to push to the upside and it's going to come and drop. Obviously, we have not quite dropped to around the blue box area. We may not get to the blue box, but we've already come up here. We're already coming down around these levels on New Zealand. So this is how New Zealand has played out. Let's have a look at New Zealand. This is it. So we've made the 3 waves here. We are coming down. Are we going to push to the upside? There's a likelihood that we get a structure like this on New Zealand. 1, 2, 3, and then downside. Either way, we will be looking for that to continue to the downside after that move. Right, let's have a look at US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD, we expected this move. Let's have a look at US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD last week, it was here. It was here, and we expected this to make a 3-wave structure like that. But when it pushed up higher without retesting the low here, that's when we saw that this was all a correction, and we are now starting a move to the upside. Okay, we're now starting a move to the upside like that. So we are currently here, and there's a likelihood that this is actually a running flat or an expanding flat. Whichever one is going to play out, that's going to play out here. One more move to the upside, but currently we are pulling back with the rest of the US dollar pairs. That is US dollar CAD there. This is what it looks like right now. Can we get this as a running flat and push to the upside, or we can get this as an expanding flat? I'm more inclined onto the running flat, but we'll get the confirmation when this is complete, when the correction is complete on the US dollar CAD. Let's go to the yen pairs. We've already touched quite a bit on the yen pairs. You've seen pound yen and how we forecasted it last week. So let's just do this here. Let's do that. Okay, so this is pound yen. Last week, pound yen had made a move to the upside here. We had made a move down here. We said this was going to come and retest the low here and bounce to the upside. So the exact structure that I showed last week was this. So we had a move here, we had a move here, we had a move around here. Why do I keep using red? I'm trying to use yellow. So we had this one here looking like a corrective structure. So we said it's going to come retest the low. We're going to get a bounce here. So we're expecting a bounce to around this level. So the next move here that we're focusing is to come around this level. Are we going to get this one here before we push to the upside? That is what we're going to be looking at. We're taking it one wave at a time. For now, we've got our wave down, we've got our wave up. We are looking for this to come to around this level. At this level, we're going to decide whether it goes to the upside, or if that it goes to the upside, that means this is all a correction and we are done. Okay, so we're going to be watching that. That is pound yen, US dollar yen. If you look at US dollar yen, we also forecasted it exactly like that. How did we know that it was going to simply come only up to here and push to the upside? So last week, if you remember, we said this is a diagonal. And if this is a diagonal, that means we are only going to get a pullback back to the 61.50% of this. Are we going to start getting a move to the upside? If that happens, that means the diagonal is validated, and then we are looking for more upside. Okay, EURCHF, let me go to the charts. I think if I go to the charts, you've seen this one during trade recaps. Let's go to the yen pairs and have a look at some of the yen pairs here. Let's go to the yen pairs. So pound, as you can see here, we didn't only just focus from here. As last week, we were here, we wanted here to drop here and push to the upside. We are already on our way. There was pound, yen, that is how it has played out. Members got that before that played out. US dollar yen, also, if you look at that, we're looking at that diagonal. We're looking for these three waves, which we now got. We're starting to get a move to the upside. We're still looking for that. That is US dollar yen, euro yen. Similarly, euro yen, we're looking for this. This is actually quite late because we wanted this from here. We focused this from here, and that was going to come down and push to the upside. Look at euro yen. It has already made all those moves. It has already dropped. It has already reversed. So this is the possible structure on euro yen, move down and upside. Now remember, I'm not only drawing these lines today. These lines I've drawn last week already, expecting an ABC corrective structure. Go watch last week's video if you want to learn how this plays out. So it's important to watch the video before and how it plays out after. I'm sure you guys go and check this out. CHF, so CHF, as we saw during the trade recaps, simply because we were expecting euro yen to drop, we expected CHF yen to drop as well and push to the upside. So CHF yen, we are still expecting it to get to around this level. Let's have a look at how CHF yen is playing out. This is how CHF yen is playing out. That's why I was saying we've had about 90 to 95% accuracy from the forecast last week. So this is what with CHF is happening. What is happening with the CHF? Got a three waves down here, now pushing to the upside. We're looking for this to come around this level. Are we going to come down after that and push to the upside? Let's see how that is going to play out. That is CHF. All right, so CAD yen, also you saw this one during the trade recaps that we wanted this one to drop here and push to the upside. CAD yen looks to have completed its structure because this you can look at as a three wave structure on CAD yen and start looking for more upside. Now start looking for entries here around for more upside here on CAD yen. Okay, so New Zealand. So New Zealand has made what looks like a three-wave structure. We can get, let me show you the structure here on the daily. We can actually see it on the 4 hour as well. How many times have we talked about this structure on the New Zealand? Okay, it is now playing out. We focused that it was going to come down and push to the upside. Now we are here, we're looking for upside here on New Zealand yen. Okay, AUD yen, similarly, we had a similar structure. Let's have a look here on AUD yen. Three waves down, three waves up, clear three waves down. Now we are pushing to the upside. We want to see at least three waves to the upside if it's going to continue to the upside. Okay, whether it's a pullback or a continuation, at least let us see three waves here on AUD yen. So that's how the yen pairs played out. Gold. So gold has made 5 waves to the downside. This is what I showed last week, 5 waves to the downside. We are now looking for gold to give us a 3-wave pullback, but after that 3-wave pullback, we're still expecting gold to continue lower. That was the expectation with gold. All right, let's have a look at that on the commodities. Let's have a look at commodities. Let's have a look at gold. That is the pullback. We're looking for that pullback on the 4 hour. So that should happen in 3 waves on gold. Okay. Let me take off some of this. Got so much on the screen now. Let's take off some of the charts. Okay, so that is gold, silver. Also expect a 3-wave structure here on silver, similar to what we're expecting with gold before another move to the downside. And platinum, or rather, yeah, let's start with platinum. Start with the metals first, then we'll come to oil. So that is platinum. So platinum, we were looking for this to push to the upside. What has happened is that it has come up here. It has come down here. I'm expecting that it will come down here. And if it does come down there, that is going to invalidate that upside move. And we're going to see platinum make a continuation to the downside. So that blue box may not play out. Okay, it is a reaction area, but the reaction could be an impulsive one or continuation pattern of the bigger structure. But it looks like that bigger structure is not playing out because this is too deep. Okay, so let's watch out for this structure and continuation to the downside on platinum. Doesn't look like platinum is going to take off from there, right? So that is platinum. Brent crude, let's have a look at Brent crude. So Brent crude, you saw they are forecast in the week where we had the 3-wave pullback and expected this to continue to the upside. Look at that. This was our wave 4. We expected a 3-wave pullback. We expected a continuation to the upside. What you saw during trade recaps was just a move from here, but we didn't only focus it there. We expected a bit of a push to the upside and that 3-wave pullback before we push to the upside. And this is our Brent crude inch perfect has now played out. A push to the upside, the 3-wave pullback, and then upside. Okay, you can even look at that on the 1 hour. Let's see if you can see it clearly on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we expected a push to the upside, a 3-wave pullback, and a continuation to the upside. Do we get a continuation to the upside? That's what we're going to be looking at around these levels. All right. We've already gone through so much on the pound pairs. Pound CAD, you already saw this one during trade recaps. So pound CAD may start dropping because we're seeing EURCAD dropping. So let's watch this one here. So let's watch at current levels. We may be getting a structure like this on pound CAD. Let's go back to the 4 hour here. Pound CAD 1, 2, 3. We could be looking at this here. So remember last week we were looking at this structure. We thought that this is the structure on pound CAD. So we were looking for this to drop from here. We've had a reaction, but it came down in 3 waves. When that happened, that's when we saw that that was not going to be a move to the downside. It was not going to be a complete move to the downside. So we may get this pullback here. We may get this pullback here before pushing up higher. Then that will make a WXY corrective structure. For now, let's look out for a pullback here on pound CAD. Okay, I'm just going to jump quickly to EURCAD, which you've already seen. So EURCAD, you already saw that we forecasted that it was going to push to the upside from not EUROSHIF, EURCAD. Let's go to EURCAD. I'm jumping to EURCAD because this is correlated to pound CAD. Let's get this one off here. EURCAD. We focused that this was going to make a push to the upside like that, but what was happening here is that this was actually just making a corrective structure, and you see that EURCAD is already on its way to the downside. So we're expecting that pound CAD will do the same, even if that move to the downside on pound CAD will just be a 3-wave structure for a pullback here. So let's just watch that area on pound CAD. Pound AUD, we've already gone through that on trade recaps, as well as pound New Zealand, which was our trade of the week, as well as pound CHF. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight to the Euro pairs. EURAUD, similar to pound AUD. This has continued to the upside. This has gone and made a expanding flat here, made a push to the upside. Is this a reversal? This can just be a move here like that. So let's just watch this one here. So the correction here, we will be watching that corrective structure for downside. But is the downside ready? This one is not clear for now. Let's just wait for a bit more data on that. Euro New Zealand will obviously be correlated to pound. New Zealand. Let's have a look here. I want to look at the whole structure. So this structure, 1, 2, 3 up. Remember what we looked at here. We're looking at this as a 3-wave structure complete. We may be actually looking at this as a bigger corrective structure, and it actually makes sense. In hindsight, 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. We could get another 3 waves to the downside as follows before we push to the upside. That will still be a 3-wave structure like that. Okay, so let's watch this one here. We'll watch this move here. We just need to watch more data here around the euro pairs as well as the pound pairs. EURCHF, I showed you the monthly chart last week and why this will continue to the downside and will not play out the blue box. Now look for any 3-wave pullback. Look at this long-term downside on EURCHF. So we're looking for a long-term downside on EURCHF. Any deep pullback will be an opportunity to sell it more. Okay. Audi New Zealand, expect it to even reach that level here. So what you're seeing here is a 3-wave pullback on Audi New Zealand. We will see this continue to around these levels. We are now on the crosses. AUDCAD. So we look at AUDCAD. AUDCAD, we expect this to continue to the downside. Okay, I'm gonna jump straight to CADCHF. So CADCHF, I'm jumping straight to CADCHF because last week we were expecting that this is right at the top here. We only expected that this was going to come around these levels and push to the upside. We've gone even lower. So the structure has changed here. Let's see how this is going to play out. Could this be a 3? Not like that. So this could be a 1, 2, 3 here. Could still have this one as a 3 waves, and we can still have this one coming up here around these levels. That will still be a structure like this. Let's actually use red here. So we can have this one. Let's use purple here. We can have this one here. So we can expect a move to the upside here. CAD is strong, oil is strong, so we can expect that CAD can go and retest the top there. We can possibly come back down with this structure and continue to the upside. So we're still sideways here on CADCHF. Let's see how that's going to play out. All right, so that is what we're looking at on the Forex pairs. Now let's go through the indices. Looking at the indices, parabolic moves to the upside. Let me go to the charts here on the indices and see what we looked at and what we're looking for. Forward to. So we've just been looking for more upside on the S&P 500, looking for more upside there. Let me go 1 hour here because this is a parabolic move to the upside. All you want is just smaller degree entries. Every time you get these 3-wave pullbacks on the S&P 500, you look for more upside. We're getting another one. We're expecting more upside. No sign of reversal as yet. The Dow, let's have a look at the Dow Jones. This is the industrial, Dow Jones Industrial. Now we've got a setup on the Dow Jones Industrial here. Okay, those of you who remember will remember that we forecasted that we're going to come down here. We were here when we forecasted the move down and then upside. We were looking for similar structure on the S&P 500. So we are here. We already have a 3-wave pullback here on the Dow. So let's have a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. The 3-wave pullback I'm referring to is this one. So we've already broken out of this corrective structure, 1, 2, 3. That's the structure I was showing you. This is the corrective structure. We are out of the corrective structure. The 3 waves that I'm referring to are these. We already have them. That is a setup for more upside. So when the market opens, we'll be looking to pile this more to the upside. All right, NASDAQ pullback and continuation to the upside. Also made a 3-wave structure. This is a 1-hour chart. So you just look for opportunities to buy more to the upside. It's a parabolic move to the upside. Okay, the UK 100. Let's have a look at how we looked at the UK 100 4-hour. We said we want to see this one drop here and continue to the upside. And we already have that drop, and then we are continuing to the upside. So that is the drop. This is the drop here. We were here. We expected the drop and continuation to the upside. Now look for continuation to the upside here, even if it is at least back to the previous high on the UK 100. The DAX, let's have a look at the DAX and how we looked at the DAX last week. So last week on the DAX, we said we want to see this one drop slightly lower and continue to the upside. So all of this we get because the indicator confirms those moves. Look at the DAX, we've got the move to the downside, we broke lower, and we've got out to the downside and we are pushing to the upside. Okay, so you cannot trade wave theory without the indicator. You need to have an indicator that disqualifies the alternatives. Nikkei, let's look at the Nikkei. That's the last one on the indices. We will be looking at the cryptocurrencies in the next video. So check out the next video for the cryptocurrencies. So this is the Nikkei. We are still in this corrective structure. We are expecting this one to push to the upside. We are not out of this corrective structure as yet. We will look for this to play out here. So we are still here. So we're still looking for this to come slightly lower here and push to the upside. That is the corrective structure. We'll look for this to continue to the upside. And that's all for this week, guys. If you like what we do, hit that bell notification button so that you get an alert next time we upload a video, and hit us with a like as well. And we appreciate your feedback. So drop us a comment. We will have a look and evaluate your feedback. Have a great week, everybody. Trade responsibly. Still a lot of setups in the next week, but do not forget to manage your money properly. Cheers. Bye-bye.